Hi guys, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday. It's Tuesday, October 28th, 2014. This is Jennifer and I have a ton of stuff to show you guys. Last week when I recorded, it was actually Monday and I had a really stuffy nose. Well, I ended up, I started getting sick on Saturday afternoon. I was sick from Saturday really until I'm still a little under the weather. I'm about 1,000 times better now, but still have a little congestion, a little drainage. But I was really just sitting from like Tuesday to Friday. I really didn't do much. And anyway, so I'm better now, but I got a lot of things done that I hadn't anticipated doing just because I was sitting so much. So we're going to talk about those now. So I did get another border on this Afghan. It's still not as big as I want it to be. It is probably about 4 feet long at this point. I have some more yarn on the way. I had to order some thread and I had a coupon from Joanne, so I just decided we were going to go for it. And I ordered some more yarn so that I can do a couple more colors on this. So this is not done, but I have done as much on it as I can until I get that other yarn. And while I was sick last week, I pulled out some yarn that had been donated to Linus that needed to be wound, and I got it all sorted out. This was actually like the band of the bottom band of a sweater plus about 2 inches had been worked on. This is a Mary Maxim acrylic yarn. It's 100% acrylic. So I wound it, and then I was like, you know, I'm going to stop and place on my other Linus Afghan, so I'm just going to start this one. And I actually finished this one. I used all the yarn that it came with. I had maybe 12 inches left after the last round. This one is also only about 4 feet long, but it's big enough for a teenager. I just don't have any more yarn that even remotely goes with this because you can see it's a very subtle, blendy, very pretty, and this was all one yarn. So I just crocheted and crocheted and crocheted. And a fun fact about me, when I'm sick, I watch documentaries. I don't know why. So that's one Afghan finished for Linus, one almost finished for Linus. And as I had mentioned before, we are in dire need, the Linus Connection is in dire need of larger blankets for older kids. So that's what I've been focusing on. I've been trying to go gender neutral so they can be good for anybody. And that's what those two Afghans are. And what's on the wall behind me is also going to be for Linus. While I was sick, and I was pining for my sewing machine because I was really tired and there was no way I could sit on my sewing machine and sew, I was thinking about what I could do when I could sew again. And because you guys know there's nothing better than a new project, I wasn't thinking about the things that I needed to finish, but the things that I wanted to do. So I showed you guys back in January, I got a big dresser for all my quilting fabric that has frosted drawers and all my fabrics sorted by color. What I probably didn't tell you is that about half of every color that I have are scraps. So I have a lot of strips where I'll have just like maybe 1 or 2 strips of a fabric and I don't have anything else of it. The reason that happens is I have some very good friends who will share their scraps with me because of all the paper piecing that I do. But what's happened is my scraps have kind of taken over to the point that I have more scraps than anything else, and I decided that in order to clean them out, I am going to pull all the scraps that I have out. I'm going to insert a picture here so you can see what I found just in green. These are just green scraps. This does not include the smaller pieces that I keep in a separate drawer. These are just the bigger pieces, and by bigger I mean they're more than 2 inches. So that was all of my green scraps, and what I did was I went through those scraps and I made 19 12-inch blocks. I could have made 20, but there's a reason I didn't. And these are just pell-mell. They're crazy quilt blocks. There's no embroidery or anything, but they're crazy quilt blocks. I just strip pieced and would get a piece big enough, cut a 12-inch block out of it. Get a piece big enough, cut a 12-inch block out of it. So all of these are 12 inches. They're all different, completely different, just random, whatever green fabric I had, that's what I used. And as I was putting this on the wall, I realized I really didn't want a solid green quilt. Even though it's crazy and all different kinds of greens, I wanted a little more variety. So I made, this is 4 across and 5 down. This block is actually, that one, is actually brown. So all the rest of the blocks are green strips and that one is brown. So I'm going to piece this together. This will be 48 by 60, which is a great size for Linus. And I don't have a quilt back for this currently, but I'm working on that. And so I will get this pieced and get it quilted, and hopefully it'll be ready for Linus on November, whatever the 3rd Saturday of November is. And this is all that I had left over from the stacks that I showed you guys previously. Next, I want to talk a little bit about mail. I received some mail and I sent some mail. First of all, I'm going to show you super quick. I got a huge stack of stuff from Prin. Prin is off and on Talk to Me Tuesday. She hasn't done it in a while, but she's on Facebook, so if you know her, you know who I'm talking about. Prin recently moved to Colorado and she's been cleaning out stuff like crazy, and she actually sent me a huge stack of fleece blankets which went to Linus the last time we had a meeting, which was the October the 18th. This is a big stack of fabric. Not only is there fabric in here, we've got some fabric foundation for crazy quilt blocks, and there's just some yardage and stuff. There's some solid fabrics. And she included, there are some quilt blocks for my orphan block collection for Linus, so I'm going to hold this one up so you can see it. And then she sent what is an almost completed quilt top. It needs a couple of borders and it will be done, and it's perfect colors for what I'm working on right now. So I will put a couple of borders on that and it'll get quilted and go to Linus, and I have to send huge thanks to Prin for all the goodies for Linus. I also received my swap, which I'm going to share with you guys today. I'm not going to show you what I made yet because my swap recipient hasn't quite received. So my swap partner that sent to me was Amber, HP5 Freak, and here is my pouch that she sent me. And for you guys that don't know, this is actually one of my patterns from Paper Piecing Vintage. So she used something I designed and made me a bag, which was really fun. So it's super, super cute little bag, and I already have ideas for what's going to go in here. One of the things she sent me was a bag of truffles, and they're gone now because I ate them while I was sick, and I was actually laying on the sofa eating truffles watching Netflix. So that stereotype has been accomplished. So I listed Harry Potter and Star Trek and something else for my fandoms, and I don't even remember what now, which makes me, oh, Lord of the Rings, duh. And then afterwards I thought, you know, I could have mixed that up with 20 other fandoms, but that's okay. And of course Amber knows that I sew and I crochet and all the different things I do. So I'm going to show you what's in here. First of all, she sent me this awesome little sign which says, "You sew, girl," which I just think is fantastic. I'm going to put that somewhere in my house, probably downstairs. There's some embroidery tracing paper. She sent me some Harry Potter stickers, which are always appreciated. I've been making postcards and stuff for my daughter. I regularly send her postcards at school, and sometimes I make her postcards with just cardstock and then I put stickers all over them. So these will be much appreciated because my daughter, huge Harry Potter fan. There are Order of the Phoenix stickers, and the best part behind these is that I used to have some stickers like this, and I gave them to my kids and I gave them away to friends' kids back when Order of the Phoenix came out. So I had these, but I haven't had them since, and having a few more of these, fantastic. She sent me this really sweet little Altoids tin that has been made into, oh, look at that. It says, "Life is the greatest adventure you'll ever go on. Make sure you don't forget to enjoy the ride," which is pretty much my philosophy. So we've got Hedwig in a little tin, and I will find something wonderful to put in there. And as you guys know, if you follow Amber's videos, she recently went to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and she sent me Honeydukes chocolate. So yeah, I haven't eaten it yet because I wanted to show you guys the whole chocolate bar. Isn't that fantastic? This is mine. I don't think I'm going to share. I'm going to keep it in my sewing room, and this will be my emergency chocolate for a while. Last, but definitely not least, Amber made me a new set of fingerless gloves. I have a thing for this kind of gloves because it gets cold in my house in the winter, and these are fantastic for typing, and I love things with thumb holes, which she knows. That's one of those words that just makes me giggle because, I don't know, thumb holes. It's a funny word. So anyway, these are wonderful and blue, and I love them. So these will probably live by my computer. I keep my favorite ones by my computer so that I can pull them on and type away when my hands are cold in the winter. So that's it for my swap. Now I want to show you some video from a couple weeks ago. As you guys probably already know, my best friend Jules is Jules68 here on Talk to Me Tuesday, and her birthday was on the 16th of October. So she shared with you today a couple things that I sent her, and I did a little video before I shipped all that stuff off. So I'm going to insert that here. So I'm getting ready to wrap up and mail Jules68's birthday gift. Jules is, as you guys know, my best girlfriend. I've known her for a very long time, and I just wanted to share a few of the things that are going in her birthday package. She's working on some cosplay right now, and she mentioned needing some gold buttons, and I know you probably have tons of gold buttons in your stash, Jules, but I couldn't resist going through mine, and I pulled out every gold button I could get my hands on, so there's a huge package of gold buttons here for this cosplay and whatever other craft project might come up in the future. So I had a slightly weird idea because Jules has sent me many beautiful handmade socks, and I am not a sock maker, so I decided to send her some socks that I had decorated. So these are entirely silly socks. They don't mean anything. I just thought it would be nice to have fun socks that she could wear. These are rock star socks. It just has a big star on both sides that I stenciled with little zigzags. These are X's and O's, so these are covered with hugs and kisses for just everyday affection and love. These are for those days when you don't know your left foot from your right. These are just silly swirls that I thought would be cute. These are entirely little purple flowers with dots. I actually made these first. These are the ones that started the whole thing, and I used purple for this because purple is one of Jules' favorite colors and has been for a very long time. And no wardrobe would be complete without a pair of rainbow socks, so I made rainbow socks to just a little rainbow, like a little half rainbow on each side. And I did rainbow dots around the, well, I guess just around the outside of the socks. The other handmade item that's going in, you guys have seen partially before. I am sending her my Chronicles of Narnia stitch. She actually came up with the quote for this, which is part of the reason I'm sending it to her. I knew when I stitched it that I was going to give it to her probably for her birthday. So I framed this in a similar way as I did my Harry Potter quote stitch. I put it in a square 12-inch frame, and I don't know if you could see this or not, but this is actually burlap in there, and I found a sheet of burlap, just like a single 12-inch sheet of burlap at the craft store, and it was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. So I'm actually glued it onto the mat that was already in the frame, and then the stitch is actually ironed onto a piece of stiff interfacing to keep it nice and firm, and then I attached it to the back of the mat so that it wouldn't slide around. And I wrote a birthday message on the back so that she will know what year I gave it to her and what it was for. I almost forgot, I had one more gift for Jules that was laying on my table that I didn't show you guys, and it's this infinity scarf. It's actually made out of a t-shirt that I found at a thrift store, and I really liked this pattern on it. These are super easy to make and so fun, and I love infinity scarves because they're great for sort of dressing up a blouse when it's really chilly outside, and since this is made of a t-shirt, it's not too hot, but it still looks really nice. So I found this tutorial online. It's super easy. You cut the bottom hem off of the shirt, and you cut the shirt just under the arms. You take that tube that you just made, you put one side in your foot, and you stretch it as far as you can. So this is actually from one t-shirt. You just stretch it using your foot as far as you can, and then you can see that's the print that was on the front of the shirt. So then you just wrap it around, and you flip that, and you wrap it around, and you're good to go. So hopefully by the time I show you guys this, Jules will already have her gift and she will have shared it on her video, at least part of it. There are a couple other little things that I'm throwing in there too that are just little birthday gifts from her BFF, and I think that's it. So back to the rest of this video. I have a couple of reminders for you just really quick before I go. The new Paper Piecing Vintage, the November block, comes out on Saturday. That means there's only one more after that, including finishing instructions, and then it will be done. One more month and Paper Piecing Vintage will be over. Also, we have a challenge going on Fandom and Stitches. It's called Make It Mosaic, and it's a pixel quilt challenge. So if you are not familiar with the pixel quilt idea, you use squares to create a picture like 8-bit video game type stuff. And the winner of that challenge is going to get a Fandom and Stitches coffee mug, so make sure you check that out. And last announcement, I swear we're really long video this week, but this is it. There is a new Quilt Maker 100 blocks coming out in November, and my block is on the cover. See if you can guess which one is mine, and I will do a drawing for everyone who guesses correctly, and you will get a free copy of the magazine. So make sure you check that out. It doesn't come out till November, so you don't get it now, but you'll get it when it comes out. That's it. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.